This is Jermaine reporting for the Pound for Pound Boxing Show. I'm joined by English and the new British light heavyweight champion, Dan Azeez. How you doing, Dan?
I'm good, bro. Yourself?
I'm very well. Thanks for taking the time to join me. Dan,
Thank you.
I want to ask you, the moment you found, obviously, the moment when you stopped Jose Burton and the referee stopped the fight, I want you to sum up the feelings you had after that.
Yeah, loads of feelings, man. Happiness. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like man. I had loads of emotions, man. But mainly just happiness, and I'm just feel good that the journey has been worthwhile because it ain't been easy. I ain't had no major backing, no big promoter or anything. So I've been chipping away behind closed doors, and now I'm the British champion. So it just felt good, man.
Yeah, you sure are. You sure are. Brilliant performance. I want to talk a bit about the fight. So you stopped Jose Burton in the seventh round. I want to ask you, because a lot of people were talking while I was ringside
Yeah.
about how great your jab was, and how every time you threw that jab, how much you landed throughout the fight, and you kept pushing them back, pushing them back. Is that something you worked on? Is that something you knew could be a strength going into this fight against Jose Burton?
Yeah, in boxing in general, your jab's like your key weapon anyway. So that's just the foundation anyway. So it's not anything like, oh yeah, your jab has to be. I've always had a good jab, and I've always worked on my jab. Hosea knew it as well. Even in an interview, I heard him say, yeah, he's got a good jab, and that's about it. But that jab opens the door for so many other things. So I'm sure he was very surprised that someone as small as me, as he kept alluding to, as little as me, was out jabbing him. So it was a key weapon, but it's always a key weapon, my jab. So
yeah, the jab was very effective. Like I said, to keep rocking them back. Obviously, he had a superior reach, but he couldn't have told. You looked like you had a superior reach that night, the way you were landing them jabs. I want to ask you, there's a few times you backed him up against the ropes and looked like you could have stopped him a bit earlier, but you kind of tell him Golden to come out and fight you. Why was that?
That's just, heat of the moment, the dog inside you. You want to just, have a go, like, and let's go for it. Sometimes when you're in there, you just, I don't know, you just wanted to have a tear up, man. I enjoy it, innit? It's boxing, it's a fight. What can I say? Do you know what I mean? I'm not going in there. Obviously, I do want to get him out and then whatnot, but like sometimes it's just like, come, like let's just have a go. And he was game as well. I'll tell you that from now, like I could hear his corner, like, no, just jab, stick to the jab. I could hear Tyson Fury, just keep it long. But when I would say to him, come, let's stand in the center of the ring, let's go, he just couldn't help himself, and he would just got dragged into my game plan. But either or, whether he was on the inside or whether he was on the outside, I was still able to be dominant. So yeah,
the real dominant performance, a real great night of boxing, and a real dominant performance. Obviously, you put your name out there, not just on the British scene, but now hopefully on the world scene. But we're going to talk a bit about the British scene. And you are number one in Britain now, light heavyweight champion. You stated
number one, uno. I'm number one. That's it.
You stated that in the interview with Sky Sports straight after the fight. You said you're number one, not Lyndon Arthur, not Anthony Yarde.
Yeah,
you're number one.
Look, this belt says so, not me. This belt tells me I'm number one. So no one can't tell me nothing. I don't want to be hearing, this name, that name. I want to be hearing Dan Azeez. So yeah, man. I'm claiming I'm number one. And anybody who wants to prove otherwise or has anything to say about that, come see me. Let's have a dust up. Simple as that. I'm not one for going and fighting all these unknown Europeans and stuff and that. The light heavyweight scene is booming. Like, we got bare fighters, like, so why not just make our own scene, like make this era one that they remember, you know what I mean? There's a lot of good light heavyweights. And I think we should just mix it up, win, lose or draw. For as long as we give the fans a fight to remember, it's a win-win for everyone, right?
100%. As a boxing fan, that's what you want to see. And like you said, it's booming. Light heavyweight division is booming. You've got so many great fights potentially happen down the line. I want to ask you. Obviously, we mentioned the ArthurYarde2 fight. I want to ask you if you could potentially fight one of those guys. Would you pick? Would you pick one of those guys to fight in the future? If you're going to fight for your
any, I'm ready for anybody. Anybody, I'm ready for anybody in the UK scene. I'm ready for. I'll fight the winner. I'll fight the loser. I don't care. Obviously, I'll rather fight the winner. My next stage, I'd like to get probably the Commonwealth or defend this. So whoever's in line for that, I'm up for it. But either way, I think either of them two would make for a good fight. So I don't know. What do you think? Who would you like to see me in there with?
Anyway, I just want to see the light heavyweights fight everyone. There's so many. I'm going to mention a few names. I mean? There's so many great names. There's people ringside you could potentially have fought as well.
Of course.
Craig Spider Richards was there ringside. Yeah. Great. Obviously, he's up there as well. Obviously, Joshua Buasti is out there. Callum Smith, Callum Johnson is going to be fighting for the world title very soon as well. So there's so many great matchups out there in the light heavyweight division that could potentially happen in the future.
Exactly. And look, do you know what I mean? If someone takes a loss, who cares? Fight the next one. Someone wins, fight the next one. We could just have such a crazy, like, light heavyweight British domestic like scene going on. But as much as I'm saying this, also there's not shitty promoters, but these promoters and managers that are also there as like barriers as well. So I know it ain't as easy as it sounds like to do, but do you know what I mean? I think we should just all mix it up. Ultimately, I think the boxer has the power. So we should all just say, look, listen, all of us, let's just fight. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure everyone would love to see it.
You just mentioned a boxer. They recently done a series, a few weight classes below, and one fight, a prize fight of 40 grand on the night for the winner. Yeah. If they could do one in light heavyweight division, would you and the guys
be sick? Do you remember back there used to be a series? What was that series they used? Is it the Super Series back in the day?
Well, yeah,
you know, like what Ward was in, all them top super mid. Imagine they did a British one of that. That will be so sick, like, do you know what I mean? And it will go like, there's no way anyone can duck each other. We'll all fight each other, and you'll be able to see officially who's number one. That would be brilliant, man. And I only think the fights will only make us bigger, better, and put us out there more. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, great. The series you mentioned was the Contender back with Slice Stallone.
No, not even that one. Not that one. The
one later
series, one. The one where Ward was in it, Frotch was in it, the Real, Arthur Abraham. That one. That's the one I'm called. I think it was called the Super.
That was a great
Super Series or something like that. That was really good. It had all the top super middleweights in it. And I think we could do a version here with all the domestic fighters.
Well, hopefully after seeing this video, all the promoters and the fighters can think, let's just jump on that and make it happen, because the fans will love that, and I think that will do numbers in terms of sales on TV and ticket sales on fight night. So that would be one to put out there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Brilliant. Like I said, you're ranked number 7 in Britain as well. British champion. You want to climb the ladder? Is that your next step now going forward? You want to fight in more domestic fights and climb the ladder in UK?
Yes, it's not even just literally that's what I've been doing from the start of my career, and that's the plan. Just keep climbing the ranks, keep climbing the ladder. Southern area, English, British. Now what? Either defend it, try and get the Commonwealth, then move on European. It's all steps, man. Do you know what I mean? It's a big achievement that I achieved the other day, but that's just a part of it. Do you know what I mean? There's still more to come. So like you said, just keep climbing the ladder, taking steps at a time.
Yeah. Let's talk about that, because a lot of fighters sometimes skip the domestic route and go straight to world titles or European titles, and sometimes neglect
because they're chasing the money. They're chasing the money. I'm not here right now for money. I'm here for my legacy. That's what I'm about. The money will come. Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference between when you saw my performance on Saturday. It's not someone who's chasing money. It's someone who's chasing legacy, who's, wants it. I'm not here for money. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we need money, but it will come. I'm more chasing my legacy and, trying to make great fights. I want 10 years down the line, someone to watch one of my fights and say, bloody hell, yeah, that fight was sick, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, want to give fights for the fans to remember. So yeah.
How big experience is it for you and other fighters to go down that route domestically? Obviously, win Southern Area, win Commonwealth, British and stuff, and English titles, and then push on to European, then world level. How important is it for a fighter to get that experience, get that rounds in before they push on to world honors?
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially if you ain't box at the really top end of the amateurs. You need to work your way through, and the pros is different as well. So as I was climbing those steps, I was gaining the experience. Like, if you look at my resume, I've had how many 50-50s top domestic fights, with guys who are coming for it. They're not there to just like lay down. In my second fight, I fought a 4-0 geezer, and all that builds experience. So when you do get to the top, you've got that to work on. You got that in the bank. So, and you can use that experience to as an advantage when you do get in there, because every fighter I fought, from journeyman to the fight I fought on Saturday, they've all had more experience to me. Do you know what I mean? So I've been able to use the experience in fighting them to push on into next fights and so forth. So yeah, it is important. I do advise people to take their time and go through the steps accordingly, because we do see it. You see people take the step up too quick and then they fall short, like badly as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you can take the step and it's not too bad. It was a close fight or not, but you see people take the step and then you're like, yeah, it was too much of a big step for you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. I want to talk about, obviously, you fought on Saturday night, Wembley Arena, massive lot of fans there, massive production in terms of boxing on Sky Sports. How big an opportunity was it for you to put on a show and get your name out there for everyone to see you and potentially get you a big deal going forward in your career?
Yeah, it was important, but all that stuff I don't think about. When I'm getting there, it's just about getting the job done. Like, I don't think that deep, like, I got to perform or this, that. I just see my opponent as, look, you're in the way of all this I'm trying to achieve. Do you know what I mean? It's just point blank, and I need to run straight through you. I need to get past you. I need to beat you. I need to defeat you. I need to do whatever I need to do to get past you. And that's my mindset going into there. I don't think too much about, how important it is to perform and look good, but it is an icing on the cake when, you're on a big stage and you do put on a performance like that. But, it's more of a natural thing. I don't think too hard about all that kind of stuff. I just go in there and try and get the job done.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about fights coming up in the light heavyweight division. Obviously, you've got a massive fight coming up in a few weeks' time between Lyndon Arthur and ArthurYarde2.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, who wins that fight and why?
I think Yard will win. I don't know. I'm basing it on physicality. I think Yard is more physical. He'll look at the last fight and think, I should have pushed and pressed earlier. But I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't work and Lyndon boxes better. But I wouldn't just limit Yard to he has to pressure and be physical with Lyndon. Yard could go in there and, potentially outbox him. It can happen. Like, when I was going into this fight, everyone was saying, hey, Dan, you got to stick it on Jose. You got to be physical. You got to be rough him up and whatnot. I didn't have to do any of that. I could do it when I want to do it, but that wasn't the be-all and end-all of me winning that fight. I could box him long. I could rough him up if I want to on the inside. I could do whatever. You got to have more, as much arsenal in your toolbox as possible. So I won't just limit Yard to he has to do one thing. He could go in there and do another and still win. It all depends who turns up on the night and can implement their game plan. That's what I think anyway. But I would lean more so towards Yard.
Okay. And obviously, another big fight was coming up as well. Is what's been announced last week? Was Callum Johnson going to fight Joe Smith Jr., a massive fight for the world title as well. Can you see Callum going over there and potentially winning the world title and bringing it back to the UK?
Yeah, definitely, man. I heard Joe Smith Jr. is a very tough guy. I got some friends in the States that say he's a tough guy, can whack. Over here, people say Callum can whack as well. You saw what he did to Baterviev. So I think that makes for a wicked fight. I don't think it goes the distance. I'm looking forward to it. To be honest, after I fought Jose, I was gonna call out Callum, say, "Yeah, Joe Gallagher, let me fight your next light heavy." Do you know what I mean? But obviously, days before they said that he's fighting for a world title, so it just would have been stupid, like, to say so. But I was like, "Yeah, come, let's get it cracking." Do you know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to that fight, and it'll be wicked if Callum could grab the title and bring it back to the UK, because that opens up the doors for the British light heavyweight scene even more. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a world title in the mix as well. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. If you can bring that over there, obviously it's second time fighting for a world title. Yeah. You can bring it over here. Like you said, opens up doors for everybody, and they could have some massive fights in the UK for that title.
Of course, definitely, for sure, man. I hope he actually goes in and can pull it off.
Yeah, me too. I know you mentioned Arsenal earlier, and that's the team you support. I'm hearing.
Yeah. I'm a gunner. I'm a gooner. Come on.
How disappointed was you to hear the result on Saturday night? That they lost 4-0 to.
When I was leaving the hotel to go to the venue, it was 1-0. So I thought, okay, it's not too bad. We'll see how it goes. And then by the time I was warming up, someone was like, "Yeah, it was 4-0." I said, "Yeah, forget it, man. I don't want to hear anything about football right now. Let me just get in the zone and prepare for the fight." But in general, we've done well. We started really bad, and we're 5th at the moment. So I won't write them off. Liverpool are a wicked team, man. If I didn't support Arsenal, I think I'd support Liverpool. So it is what it is, man. Like, hopefully we bounce back and we can get some wins in the next few fixtures.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan too. Disappointed.
Wicked. Come on.
Disappointed about the result, but like I said, 10 games unbeaten as well. Going into that game, it gets a massive side at Liverpool at Anfield as well, which is
exactly. Sometimes you got to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. I'll be honest, I weren't too surprised that they lost, but obviously losing 4-0 is a bit of pill to swallow. But hopefully they'll bounce back, man. It happens.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Newcastle coming up this weekend. I want to talk to you, ask you, what's the future hold for you now? What's the next step? Are you looking to fight again this year or next year?
No, definitely not. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
You're going to be looking to fight next year. How early are you looking to be out by for next year?
As early as possible, man. Hopefully, early, maybe March. If I could get out February, I'll be happy, because I'm always in the gym. It's my life. Boxing's my life. So I'm always in the gym, always ticking over. So yeah, if I could get something early, I'll be more than happy to do so. Hopefully try and get a promotional deal somewhere. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the future, man. I ended it well, and I want to start the new year well too. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
Another thing we didn't mention was that the EBU light heavyweight title is currently vacant. Is that an belt you would like to maybe fight for
I didn't even know. I didn't even know. So that, now that you just mentioned it, my management are probably looking into all of that sort of stuff anyway. So that possibly could be another title that we go for. We'll see. We'll see what opponents are available. See if we're eligible to fight for it or whatnot, and go from there.
Brilliant. Dan, a quick message to your fans who've been backing you for the whole year, and your sponsors as well.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone that's been on the journey from day one, the ones that I've gained from just the other day. Thank you to all of them, man. I got a real good support base, and I had quite a few people down at Wembley the other day. I can't thank you all enough. Again, apologies, I couldn't come out. I had to do a drugs test, and they won't let me leave until I give them my sample. But thank you, and I want to big up all my sponsors. Thanks to Romac Solutions, Algebra, and Formula. If it weren't for them, I won't be able to train day in, day out, and just focus straight on my boxing. Also, big shout outs to let me remember, Rejuvenate, the cryotherapy clinic. Every time I'm sore, they help me out so I can recover straight for the next session. Big up my nutritionist Sinead. Big up my S&C coach Yusuf Zatat, and my trainer Brian O'Shaughnessy. Yeah, Just yeah, thanks. That's the team. That's the team that keeps the train rolling. So yeah, man, big up to everyone. If I forgot anyone, please don't bite my head off. I'm sorry. I've taken a few punches to the head, so allow me.
Brilliant. And a quick message to the British light heavyweight division.
Come get this smoke, baby. Number one.
Brilliant, brilliant. Dan,
Thank you.
congratulations again, winning the British title. I'm looking forward to seeing you back out again soon and wish you all the best, champ.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you for your time, man.
Appreciate it. Take it, bro.
Bye-bye now.